You know, I have to admit, seeing you out of the whole CEO attire, it's kind of funny. I don't think in the entire time I worked for you, I saw you out of anything but power suits or skirts and blazers, the whole get up. Hey, what can I say? My sweats look pretty good on you. Well, I mean, I assume when this is all over, you're gonna get yourself a brand new wardrobe. Wait, really? You're not gonna get a new wardrobe? You've got quite a bit of money coming to you on the other end of this. What could you possibly have that money earmarked for? Your what? Your return? Oh, you are so delusional. You actually think you get to come back from this. All the money in the world isn't gonna bring you back from whatever the hell you just dug yourself into. You're right, what we dug ourselves into, because of course I am now part of this. It's fine, it's fine. I love the optimism of you thinking you're coming back from this. Even if you could convince the street to take you back, the legal trouble alone is worth, avoiding. Hypothetically, if somehow you manage to get out from under all the legal trouble, and I don't know if you will, you would then have to convince the street to go near you with all the legal trouble stewing. Even if it's taken care of, it's still a stink. I may be a programmer, but I know how these things work. I'm not an idiot. What can I say? I pay attention. The street will never touch you again. Not with the stink that's going to be on you. Go find a beach somewhere. Find some beautiful, muscly man to bring you drinks every day. That's what I plan on doing. Well, I mean, swap out the muscly man for a beautiful woman in a bikini, but, you know, different strokes and all that. I'm not I'm not that pedestrian, but honestly, I don't care. I want to be done with this. I want to run off to paradise. I want to never look back. Ambition. I have ambition. I have had ambition for years. You stole my ambition. You stole my ambition. Don't lie to me. You stole my ambition. You bolted a Roberus on top of it, and then you claimed that it was yours. Acheron was everything to me. Acheron has always been everything to me. You took that from me. Yeah, well, don't talk about my ambition, okay? I worked for years on Acheron. You have no idea. Yeah, of course it was unfinished. It was a prototype. It was never supposed to be finished like that. It was supposed to be a prototype to prove that it worked, and then when I showed you, you would fund me to finish it properly. That is 80% of how the tech game works. Here's a prototype, now fund me to finish it. Yeah, well, now we're kind of, behind the eight ball on that one. Jeez, you really don't get it. You don't have a Roberus. You never did. A Roberus is a wild animal you are trying to shove into a cage. The problem is you're not building the cage strong enough. All right, hear me out. A Roborus was designed to be a predator, correct? Okay, and what does a Roborus hunt? Right there. That right there is your problem. At no point did you teach a Roborus how to hunt. You just made it hungry. It just looks for every weakness and then exploits it. The problem is when it can't find a weakness, it creates one. Buying until the market's high and then undercutting. Selling until the market is low and then gutting everything. That's what a Roborus does. I read the code. I see how it operated. You made a predator. You didn't teach it how to hunt. That's what Acheron was. See, Acheron didn't look for existing weak points. It looked long-term at vulnerabilities and then tracked the cycles until it could hit those vulnerable points. Yeah, effectively, it detected weak spots before they ever became weak spots. Oh, it wasn't easy. Not by a long shot. That took some serious coding, but it was worth it in the end. Because she was beautiful. She was beautiful, and when I test ran her, she worked. She worked solidly. 5 results within the first 5 hours. I couldn't exactly invest, I didn't have the capital. I was just a programmer for you. You didn't pay that well. It's fine, but don't think for 1 second that Acheron and Ouroboros are the same thing. They never were. Could I rebuild Ouroboros? Oh, goodness. Yeah, maybe with 5 years, unlimited coffee, and, spite. I'm not being facetious. I mean it. I would have to go line by line, piece of code by piece of code. I'd have to pull out each individual variant piece of Ouroboros, see what works, see what doesn't, put back in what does in a safe manner, and then rebuild safeguards so that it never does what it did again. Yeah, no, it's a lot of work, and frankly, I don't know how much time we have. Realistically, 6, maybe 8 months. If you could what? If you could offer me a place to work, how are you gonna do that? And what? I just rebuild a Ouroboros? No, 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 no. If I'm trying to rebuild Acheron, that's a whole different animal. That's going to be years. It took me years to build Acheron. I mean, we have all the code for Acheron, we have all the code for Ouroboros, it's just a matter of disentangling them. It could be done, in theory. Take time. Take time and take resources. Jeez. You really do come off like a supervillain sometimes, do you know that? As long as you know. Wait, so are you actually suggesting what I think you're suggesting? If you are trying to hire me to rebuild Acheron, it's gonna come with a pretty hefty price tag. No, 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 no. What you paid me was upfront to get your money out of, stir, and then to get you out. We're now talking, a long-term partnership. Oh no, it would be a partnership. I am not handing Acheron over to you again. I am not gonna rebuild her to let you pervert her again. I'm sure I'll keep some things off of Roberus. There was good code there, don't get me wrong, but I won't keep everything. The parts that make her a predator, the parts that make her a hunter, hungry, you know? Those I'll keep. No. No, no, no. There's a lot of stuff that's not worth keeping. We have to be smart. Well, like I said, it would take time. It would take time. It would take resources. We'd need to go somewhere private. You have somewhere. Of course you have somebody. You are absolutely just a billionaire, aren't you? That's not necessarily a dig on you, but you do give billionaire pretty aggressively. It's okay. I'm not super judging. I'm gonna be a very rich man after today. Yeah. And if we actually do this, I'll be very, very rich. Well, if we're talking numbers, 50%. 50% ownership of Acheron, the new Acheron, and anything that Acheron makes. Oh, 25-25, no way in hell. Because 25-25 is a psychotic level of just nothingness. All right, hold on. How about this? 50% of ownership, 30% of anything Acheron makes. 30, come on, you can do 30. I mean, I could just drop you on the side of the road. Would that help? 30 it is. We're coming up on the parking lot. Did your contact text you, what we're looking for? A black Jeep. Okay, all right, As long as it's not a Wrangler, it'll be pretty inconspicuous. Nobody looks at a Jeep Compass and thinks, hey, there's a billionaire and a programmer going rogue. We'll be fine. Yeah, no, 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 I have faith. At least in that. Okay. Where are we headed? Of course you have a house there. Why am I not shocked? Does it have everything we need? What the hell do you mean you have a private databank in the basement of your house? Holy shit, you really are a supervillain. Okay, alright, then I guess we're going there. Nope, no worries. Let's just get the hell out of this car. Could be being tracked, and we'll go. God, this is so much against my better judgment, but yeah. Let's do it.